Happy Tuesday, Tea Time Tuesday. Yeah, I had a car accident and I do want to use that as the metaphor, the topic that I want to talk about today. Um, but first, let me just wish you happy holidays. Uh, this is quite a time of year. So much is happening, and and then there are car accidents and crazy shit. Well, thankfully I'm okay, and thankfully Jasper's okay because we were just sitting at a light. I was actually talking to a friend of mine, visioning about 2020, and out of nowhere, which was kind of weird, out of nowhere, I just went flying, and I hit my head horribly. And my dog, I was taking him to the vet, and he went flying. Note to self, time to get a seatbelt. That was so scary. Thank God he was behind my seat because I looked, first I was like, whoa, right? What the fuck happened? And then my next thought was, where's my dog? Because I didn't even see him. He fell, down underneath the seat. And it was scary. It was obviously scary. It's always scary when you just have something, just the rug pulled out from underneath you. And that's the thing, rugs get pulled out from underneath us all the time. Whether it's a car accident when you least expect it, or whether it's a loved one that just gets diagnosed or just dies without you even knowing. No preparation, no anything. Whether you lose your job. I mean, sadly, there's a lot that happens on this earthly plane, and being embodied definitely can be challenging. So I am okay. I mean, I have a headache. My neck is tight, and I'm getting good care. And I had my head on as straight as I could because I was shaking like a leaf, obviously, and trying to figure shit out as soon as possible. And I had the smarts to say we need to call 911 because we need to get a police report. But that's not what I want to talk to you about. Yes, I had a car accident. Yes, I'm going to have to do some, chiropractic. I'm going to go for acupuncture later, get some massage. I'm going to do all the right things. I'm taking my arnica, taking the bath. You don't have to give me medical advice, though I love you for even wanting to and to support me. I have so many amazing people supporting me, and that's great. And I'm hurting today. I'm definitely hurting today. And there is that thought, of course, of, fuck, really? Really? I've got all these other things that I'm dealing with because I have some other health challenges that I'm dealing with. And really, I don't want to have to figure anything else out, let alone have to go to have all these therapies. And so there was this moment of poor me, and it's not even a poor me. Let's be real here. Let's be real here. If something happens that hurts you, you have every right to feel like shit. You have every right to go, ouch. And I so many times in my life, so many years in my life, probably the first 40 years of my life, if not longer, I had a happy disposition, and underneath I was feeling like crap. And I didn't want anyone to really know what was going on inside of me. I didn't want to show my vulnerability. I didn't want to show my pain. I covered it up with 50 pounds, as many of you know. And so, if you're hurting, allow yourself to feel what you need to feel and reach out for support, and allow yourself to go through what you need to go through. The thing is that we don't want to hang our hat in the poor me, my life sucks, everything's bad, and and all that stuff, right? We don't want to just focus on what's not working. We do want to have both. We want to be able to go, ouch, now I have to deal with my car that has to be fixed. Now I need to, reach out to practitioners and deal with insurance. There's the pain in the ass shit. But I'm okay, and I get another day on this planet. Thankfully, I'm mostly okay. Mostly okay. And there's so much to be grateful for. And here's the thing, and I think gratitude's awesome. And in my masterclass last week, I talked about the power of gratitude, the power of knowing what our blessings are. Excuse me. And we must go in. you must go in and say, how are you doing? How am I feeling? What am I needing? Because there is that whole thing of the spiritual bypass. There's the whole thing of, let me just focus on all is well, you know? When I got hit yesterday, I was sitting at a red light and I was talking to a friend on Bluetooth and I didn't see it coming. I wasn't paying attention to what was behind me. I was at a red light. In fact, I'm pretty sure she was behind me, sitting, waiting for the light to turn. And the green signal to make a left went on, and she thought to go. Now, it's a little weird because there's still me in front of her, even if she sees the green, right? But I got hit, and I got hit hard. And it really jolted me, and it scared me. And I got out of the car, took a breath, found my dog, and then I got out of the car to see what the deal was. And she's a lovely young woman. I don't know how old she is. You know, it's funny. The older you get, everyone looks really, really young. She looked like she was probably in her 20s, but she's probably in her 30s. I don't know. But she was shaken too, of course. And she was like, I'm so sorry. And, you know, the tears are flowing for her and the tears are flowing for me. And in that moment, there was a human being in front of me that was hurt too. She was fine, but emotionally she was really distraught. In fact, then she went on to say, I've had such a horrible day. And you know what I got to tell you? Just seeing a human being in her vulnerability had me drop into that too. Not that I wouldn't, because typically that is my MO, to connect with people. When I saw her in her vulnerability, I mean, I just dropped in and I just looked at her and I just said, look, we're both okay. We'll figure this out. You don't have to worry. I'm not litigious. We will figure this out. Let's just take a breath. And and I hugged her. You know, I mean, it was like the perfect traffic accident. You know, I wanted to let her know that it was okay. Now, I don't know what's going to go down with our insurance. I don't know. I'm not litigious. I'm not going to go down that route. I'll figure it all out. But in that moment, which is, again, a metaphor for everything in our life, in every single moment, we have a choice to show up for the person in front of us, for the one that's in distress. Now, it's easy to open up my heart to someone who's crying in distress. Not as easy. Truth be told, if someone's yelling at me, that's when I'm like, you know, that's like my old trauma. You know, it's like, don't yell at me. And then, of course, I have to really work hard to go, oh, here's a person in distress. They're showing anger. But that's not what happened yesterday. She was so upset. And then we got off because we're on a main strip. We got off. We called the cops. I think the biggest thing I want to share with you is the message to just show up in the moment and to just see it for what it is. As Tony Robbins would say, not better than it is, not worse than it is. You know, I could have popped into like, all is well, I'm alive, we're good. Or I could be like, fuck, my car, my head, you know. And all of that would be true, you know, all of that would be true. And then there's just showing up and dropping in and connecting to this human being. And as we go through the holiday season, when we are bumping up against a lot of stress, when you find yourself at maybe your family's dinner or an event that maybe is uncomfortable for you, I invite you to drop in like I did at the accident, to just drop in, ask yourself what you need, because maybe what you need is to just get the frig out of there, right? But to really get the support you need. You know, in the middle of the drama of the car thing, I realized I was minutes away from a dear friend of mine. So I was like, excuse me for a second, because I thought, let me get some support. That was my first thought. Well, maybe not the first thought. My first thought was, where the fuck is my dog? Thank God he was okay. And funny enough, we were on the way to the vet, so he's fine. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, so I reached out to my friend, and she couldn't come. She was like, I'll send my daughter. And I was like, no, I don't want your daughter. I'm fine. You know, I needed, you know, when you're in trauma, when something so dramatic is happening, it's hard to stay clear. You know, in shadow work, we talk about the magician, the part of us, inside of us, that's able to step back and have perspective on do this or don't do this. I was not in my magician. I was fighting so hard to get in my magician because I had to make decisions. I mean, the cop is asking for registration. I don't know where it is. Every single one I take out of my glove compartment is expired. I'm like, do you really need it? I have my registration. Here's my driver's license. It all worked great. But in retrospect, I would have liked to have taken pictures of both of our cars. Didn't do that. In retrospect, I probably should have gotten her phone number. The cop was like, all the information is in the police report. So I did reach out for support. I did the best I could, and then I let it go. And the rest, I'm just going to follow along, you know? We do the best we can. And I invite you to do the best you can during this holiday season, and do the best you can for the rest of your life, every single day. And so for those of you that are following me and I'm helping along with the dating world, or anybody that's in a relationship, so let's cover everybody, whether you're single or whether you're in a relationship, whoever's in front of you, even if you're on a really sucky date and you're like, whoa, this guy doesn't shut the frig up and doesn't care that there's even a person across the table, or you're on a sucky phone call with that prospective date and it's like pulling teeth to have a conversation, or you have nothing in common, whatever it is, or you're seeing your spouse do the same thing over and over again that drives you nuts, whatever it is, I invite you to drop into your humanity, to your heart, and love as much as you can. And it starts with you. It starts with you. The more you love yourself, the more you're able to take good care of yourself, the more you can reach out for support, the more you take care of your body, the more you take care of your mind, and the more you take care of your spirit, the more you're having that emotional, spiritual fitness about you, the more you can connect more deeply to everyone that you come in contact with. So I'm not thrilled I got a car accident, but here's my Tea Time Tuesday message. Life does tend to show up to give me things to talk about. So thankfully I am okay, and what I wish for you is that you two are moving through the holidays and to 2020 with ease and grace. And if you end up having a bump or two, or even some big challenges like loss or pain or illness or anything like that, I invite you to reach out to get support, to really go in and ask yourself, what do you need? And to be transparent. Because I know you know this. I know you know this. The more you hide your heart, the more you hide your truth, the more pain you're going to be in. You might know this here, but you may not have been able to really shift it yet. I mean, that's what I do. I help people become more transparent in a strategic way. I call it strategic vulnerability. How to be vulnerable and let people in without throwing yourself under the bus. Because you don't want to be vulnerable with just anybody. So as you move through this holiday season, I invite you to really ask yourself, do you need all the armor? Do you need to hide? Who can you reveal yourself to? And ask for support. And for those of you that are single, I'm going to invite you to join me in my Facebook group. It's called Find Fabulous Love After 40. I'm going to do some special trainings in there over the next couple of weeks that will only be there. It's a private group. I'll put the link in. And you have to, ask to be in because it is a private group. So for anybody that's single, or for anybody that knows a single woman that is dating or struggling with finding their partner and wanting to have better success in the love realm, come on over to the hub over there. There's amazing women. And I do special trainings there, and the trainings are really only there. So I invite you to join me there. And with that, I am going to bless you off to a wonderful day. Have an amazing holiday, and I'll be back. Is it Christmas Eve next week? 23rd, might be Christmas Eve. I don't know. I'll be back next Tuesday. Love you all. Ciao.